Hello, today I'm going to be showing you Let's Trade. It's a free open source stock trading bot written in Python. It's currently now it only supports Alpaca Trade API as the broker, but the primary focus is adding more brokers and getting more strategies. It contains backtesting, plotting, and money management tools. Um, and this is what it looks like currently. So you have your watch list, which is in a PostgreSQL database, and then you can add and delete stocks from that database right here. So if you wanted to delete Netflix, then you just press that, and now you're no longer scanning through Netflix. And this is how you add them. You have to add the exchange because to get the stock chart data, you need the exchange as well. This shows your active investments. It gets that from the Alpaca Trade API, and then down here you can backtest your strategies that you have and figure out which one is the best. This currently does it with $10,000 over since 2016, but this is there's also ways that in the current one you can change these yourself. So here's a little presentation on Let's Trade, stock trading bot, and dashboard. The architecture, it uses Docker, similar to virtual machine. It can run a Docker file which specifies the codes, and it does the setup for the environment, so you can define, well, I defined the requirements in the operating system of the Docker image, so that all you have to do is download Docker and then press run on the image. So it's pretty much as simple as downloading a file and pressing run on the file. There's a few extra steps, but once you do it once, it's set up forever. It uses SQLite as the database, which is similar to an Excel file, except for it's a serverless. It's serverless. Sorry, I didn't know where I was going with that. Except for my bad. And then it can be run on any operating system that can download Docker. So that would be Linux, Mac, and Windows. It's supported on. So here's a picture of how the architecture is set up. It has a Docker. First you have your universe, which would be either Mac OS, Windows OS, or Linux OS. Sorry, I can see you can't see the full thing. There you go. So your universe, like I just said, and then within your computer you have Docker running, and you have all your other programs running. And then within Docker you have supervisor running, which tells dashboard, which is the user interface, and trading bot to run. So that's the architecture of it. I want this guide to be like a full scale guide, so you know exactly how it runs and stuff, so that you can customize it as much as you need to run your specific strategies. So this is not just a quick start guide, this is a full in-depth guide of how this runs and the programs behind it. The libraries used Yahoo Finance, also known as Y Finance, to get the price data. Alpaca Trade API is the broker that's supported right now. It's completely free. I'm gonna go over it real quick. I'm gonna open it up on my side screen. One second. Here it is. So as you can see, you get your API. Oh, sorry, you can't see. So as you can see, you get your API key, you view it, and then you'll copy and you'll put that in like a text file on your desktop. So you can just go to your desktop and get that. And then on this Alpaca Trade API, you can either be doing paper money, which is not real, so like you're testing your strategy on live price data, or like they're both testing your strategy on live price data, but with the paper you're not using real money, and then with live you're using real money. So you just switch it, and then inside your API key you switch your endpoint. You just remove paper, and I'll show you that later when I go into this more. But this, I'm not sponsored by Alpaca or anything, obviously, but if you want to use it, if you want to use the trading bot, for now you have to have an Alpaca account, which is completely free to sign up for. And then if your strategy or bot starts making money off of the paper trade, then you could start live trading it with real money. And hopefully I'll have more brokers set up in the future. So then, to display the user interface, I use Flask, and Unicorn Flask is the framework that has, so that I can pass Python variables from Python to HTML very easily. And then Unicorn is what's used to run it and host it. So, if you want to host this to a server, I suggest using Linode over AWS for this case, because Linode has predictable pricing. For a nanode, it's only $3 a month, so I recommend using a nanode. And if you're successful at trading, then the $3 a month will be trivial. So that's all for how it works. I'll go over Linode just a little bit more. So it's very simple to use versus AWS or any other Azure, Google Cloud, any of the other ones, but it still has a lot of features. So that's why I recommend trying it out. Hello, here's a guide on how to set up the trading bot on a server so that it's always running, like this one is. Wrong one. Like that. So the first thing you want to do is press create a Linode, and then change it to Ubuntu, and then select the closest region to you. Go to shared CPU. This one's only $5 a month, and that's all you need since you're only running one program. And then I'll just put in a simple password since I'm gonna delete this. So here's what I put, and then you just press create Linode, and that's the first step. And then once you have it set up on the Linode server, you can SSH root. So you'll copy this, and then you'll go into your PowerShell or terminal. So I'm going to open up PowerShell, and then I'm going to press right click, and then enter, and then press yes, and then type in the password. Okay, so then after you type in the password, you want to run this command, apt update. And then this one. You don't run all these. So here's the commands. I make a text doc and just put them all in there once I'm done making this. So you can just copy paste them. So now you should have Docker. Yep, so now that Docker's installed, that's step 2. So for part 3, you want to go to GitHub and download the repo. So I'll show you how to download the repo. You go to github.com/letstradebot, and then you go here and click on the repo, and you click download zip. And then once you do that, it'll download, and then you drag and drop it anywhere you want to store it. For part 4, you're going to want to get your API keys from this website called Alpaca. I'll show you. It's called Alpaca Trade API. And then you'll click on here. It'll take you to a page like this. And then you're going to want to go and click and view your API keys. And right now I have it on paper trading, but if you want to switch it, all you do is switch it to a live account, and you switch the endpoint. The keys will stay the same, and then you'll go into your Let's Trade bot that you downloaded and edit the config file. So you'll open it and make the correct changes. Just paste it into where it says, like it'll say API key and API secret key and the endpoint, and you'll paste them all into your config file. And that's all for part 4. For part 5, you want to have this program downloaded called WinSCP, and then you're going to open it up like this, and then you're going to press new site, SCP, paste in the IP address. Your username will be root. and then type in the password. And then you're able to just drag and drop that file that you edited into your server, so you don't have to do command line stuff. It makes it a lot easier. And that's all for part 5. So for part 6, I'll show you how to run the bot on this server so you can access it from anywhere. So to start, you'll open up PowerShell, and then you will SSH root. So you'll go to the Linode and copy this, and then paste it, and then enter your password. And then press ls-ll, and you should see Let's Trade Bot -main. So you'll cd Let's Trade Bot -main. Oh, Let's Trade -main. And then you'll do the same thing, ls-ll, and then you'll press docker-compose space up and press enter. And now it's going to download all the dependencies for you. So I'll be back once they're all done downloading. So for part 7, I guess it's just check out to make sure that the server's running the code correctly. It said that it's running both of them. See right here, it started, both the processes are running. So then you can go to this IP address, put it right into your browser, and then type in the username and password within the config file. And this has back testing, shows your active investments, and you can add and delete stocks from the watch list. So feel free to check it out, and thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Just some final notes on the repo. Here it is. Let's Trade bot/Let's Trade. It's an open source project that I started. Right now I'm the only contributor. So if anybody else would like to help out, you can send like even just cleaning up the UI or something simple like adding a more secure login page, then you can become a contributor to an open source project. And also I'm just going to run through, like right here, this is the main thing. So this is the database. It's a PostgreSQL database. And this right here, this tradingbot.py, is the trading program that like does all the logic. So it gets all the symbols from the database, gets the prices using Y-Finance, and then uses a very simple strategy. So I still need more strategy. So if you can copy this and maybe put in a better strategy, I'll accept most GET requests, and then you can be a contributor to this project, and that can help you build your resume and build your portfolio. So just, if that's something you can do to try to help you land a job, I'm also asking for help, so just something to keep in mind. Thank you. Have a good evening, good day, whatever.